A very good evening to all. Dear student, today I, Dr. Sheminas, want to discuss a poem by American poet Walt Whitman's poem When Lilac Last in the Dooryard Bloom. When Lilac Last in the Dooryard Bloom is an elegy composed by Walt Whitman on the death of American President Abraham Lincoln, whom he admired a lot. We all admire our national leader a lot. So, whenever our favorite leaders die, we feel very depressed. So, this is the same case with Walt Whitman. He was fond of Abraham Lincoln. So, on his death, he was so deeply saddened that he wrote this poem. The death of Abraham Lincoln was a personal loss to him, which he depicted in this poem. Hence, it is a fine example of elegies as it developed from personal to the impersonal, means from the intense sorrowful feeling to the acceptance of loss. Uh, in the beginning, he was not ready to accept the death of his favorite leader, but as the poem developed, in the end, we see that he has accepted his loss. So, this poem is a dramatization of the feeling of loss. When Abraham Lincoln was assassinated and his body was being sent by train from Washington to Springfield, Illinois, and he was crossing the continent at that time, men and women in abundance stood near the road to salute him. This was the craze for the beloved leader. In the poem, Whitman has depicted natural object saluting his dead body. See, poets connect these natural objects also with their happiness and sorrow. So, in the first section of the poem, he introduces Whitman and the three principal symbols of the poem: the lilac, the star, and the bird. So, these three are the three image. For the poet, these object and natural objects are mourning with him. So this is a comparison, means he is feeling as if the feeling which is in his heart, the same he is finding in the natural surrounding around him. He called Lincoln as Venus, but at the same time he depict Venus as a mourner. There are several references associated with the lilac flower, as it is a symbol of resurrection. Its heart-shaped leaf symbolizes love, and its purple color indicate the passion of crucifixion. Now, crucifixion is something which is very spiritual, very religious to Christian all over the world. The bird is the symbol of reconciliation with death, and its song is the soul's voice. The poet believes that out of that the life will be renewed. The poet compares death with dark mother or a strong deliveress, which means that it is necessary process of rebirth, means it is a natural phenomenon. Any individual who is born in this world will die. Nobody can escape death. In the poem, Walt Whitman is continuously giving the reference of spring season because it symbolizes the cycle of life and death and rebirth. The date of Lincoln assassination coincided with Easter, the time of Christ's resurrection. So there is something spirituality about Abraham Lincoln also, which the poet feels. These two elements provide the setting to the poem in time and space. In the second section, the poet described the journey of the coffin through natural scenery and industrial cities, both representing facets of American life. Means in America, if there is development, at the same time there is environment also. They are concerned about environment. He says that cities and natural objects are mourning the death of the beloved leader. When the dead body is passing through cities, woods, wheat field, and orchard, all seem to wrap in black, means lamenting the loss of Abraham Lincoln and are saluting him. In the Christian, black symbolizes death. If we see the funeral of in Christian, they mostly wear black when somebody dies. Uh, Unlike India, like in television and movies, on the death of a person, dress and the people they wear white. So, in the poem Across the Continent, when his dead body is passing, the people's faces are sad, their voices are low, and the entire atmosphere seems to be mourning. As an arbitrary tribute to his leader, the poet is offering the spring lilac. He has brought fresh blossoming flower, not for Abraham Lincoln, but for all men. He is also singing a song as a tribute for you, O Saint is sacred dead. This is his song. Now, in the next line, the poet is addressing the star who are shining in the western sky. He imagined that stars are glooming because he is feeling that they are also lamenting the loss of his beloved leader. He believed that last month they were trying to tell him this sad news. He is recalling the he is calling the bird to continue singing, and when the stars are departing, he is bidding them, saying, "My departing comrade." Means for him, stars are his comrade because they are with him in in his loss. In the third section, the poet is wondering how he will sing song for his beloved leader who has gone. How he will compose his tribute for him. He wished to compose poem and give tribute to Lincoln and uh, perfume his grave with his verse. On the tomb of the president, there should be a picture of natural object like spring and sun, leaves, river, hills, sky, density with dwelling and people at work. Because all this represent happiness and prosperity. These images are all scenes of life. Lincoln is so important to the people of America that all the soul will be in them, whether it is Manhattan spires or shores of Ohio or Missouri River. The grey brown bird is singing a lamenting song which is having a liberating effect on the poet's soul. The poet is sad because Abraham Lincoln was one of the great leaders America had. He was the one who abolished slavery from America. In the fourth and last section, the poet presents a restatement of the earlier themes and symbol of the poem in a perspective of immortality. He imagined that some days back the cloud has given him a hint of death. He fled to bird who is singing the death song. The song praises death, describing it as a lovely, soothing, and delicate. The poet compares death with dark mother who likes bird song. In the song of the bird, the poet sees a vision of armies where soldiers are lying dead and are happy, but their parents and relatives are suffering due to their loss. Same is the case with Abraham Lincoln. Though Abraham Lincoln is dead and he's safe in the other world, but his people in this world are suffering. So this is something which is connected to one's feeling and one's love for our national leader who has sacrificed his entire life for the sake of his people. So Abraham Lincoln was one such leader who is being loved by generation. So thank you.